Boom, I see.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Duel podcast with your host. Normally is me and Alicia Solomon, every week talking the challenge. This week, as you can see, we have a special guest host of us talking about the Challenge USA Season 2, Episode 8, and our good friend Grant.
What's up? Back again?
Yeah, and it's a special episode that Grant just happens to be here for. We were just talking
Love it.
right before we hit, but we're gonna get into this episode where we're back into the individual game, and it's opening up a lot of people's motions in the rest of this
Mm-hmm.
game.
Yeah. And before we start talking about it, I was so pissed off last week how just when the one person that was going to take Tori off the pedestal and put her in the slumps, they decided to switch the format. I'm like, production, like, what are you doing? It's clear that you're trying to rig something, but that's what I was getting.
Yeah, it was very, very coincidental. But I'm like, listen, it was gonna happen at some point that we get it. I didn't know that they were gonna do that right away, but she was so ready.
Yeah,
Michaela was so ready last week to this effect.
I
But
love Michaela. That's my girl.
same.
I love her.
Love her down. So, like we said, so right when she was about to defect, Peter was like, go back and join the group. And he declared that it is now individual. And now everyone's game, especially hers, opens up a little bit more now that they're not in teams. Michaela was very excited because she has more options for alliances.
Mm-hmm.
The Goof was very excited that he can kind of like skate and be in the middle of like the BB people in the vets. And I'm like, sure, let's see how that takes you.
Right. Right. Not too far.
Mm-mm. And then Chris said like he felt like his game opened up a bit because now he can leverage some of the relationships that he had created thus far in the game. Granted, I don't know how I feel about Chris at this moment because
Me
I
either.
didn't know about him like after the first episodes or so. I'm like, what is man? He's just sitting here. And then when he had his
Yeah.
elimination, I was like, oh, you are here. But we'll see how he fares.
And that's the thing with Chris. I feel like Chris is corny to me. Like what he did with that old man that should not be named and Tyler. I don't know if it was the last episode or it was either the episode before that when he came back after he won the elimination, talking about like he was coming for them or whatever. And I'm like the way he did it was so corny, and I'm like, I don't know because I don't like him, and I really don't like Sebastian. But we'll get on him in a minute. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah, when he did that, I was like, and then in that moment, because I don't like that man that should not be named either. But the way he was just unbothered like he was previously, I'm like, you can't rattle this man for no reason. So I'm
Yeah,
like, this is us. You're talking to a wall.
literally.
But
I wouldn't have given him
yeah,
no energy either.
yeah. And then Tori said she could just rely on her experience and she wanted to create alliances based on performance moving forward in the game. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll see how you can shake and bake because you can't adapt as much, but we'll see.
Exactly. And she playing with three beasts, like three in terms of girls. Like you trying to tag up with Desi, Michaela, and Chanel. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
And then Michaela had a conversation with Bananas about just letting bygones be bygones in a sense. And she wanted to take everything with him as a grain of salt and kind of work with him now that she can play her own game and have him in her back pocket. But Bananas like, she's a bit dangerous for me in this game, but I could work with her.
Yeah, she got them all scared, and I love it. They know that she. It's so funny too to watch because you see how they try their best to try to like pick her brain, and they just fail, and they realize it because they seen a couple. I think it was last week with Wes when he was in the room with her trying to like pick her brain, get her to like open up, tell him something. She was not going for it, and they know it's like this girl. She's a beast, and she's very likely gonna come for each one of us any chance she can. So it's best to be on her good side, and try and get her in their back pocket. But Michaela too smart. Like you can try and think you got her in your back pocket, but she gonna sit there and she gonna be sitting in there plotting the whole time.
Yeah, like she really means she must be quiet and just be like taking notes and observant, and then when the time is right, she gonna strike.
Strike. Mm-hmm.
And then we got this showmance that has been brewing for a while. Alyssa is crying to Tyler about her frustrations in the game, and she felt like a sitting duck because at this point, like it is facts that her, Tyler, and Monty are the last actual Big Brother players. Sans, Fessy, and Josh in the game, and they're just trying to like keep up, and she's trying to keep her spirits high, and Tyler's just like trying to have her be more confident. Like, yo, we're still here. You got this. Like, she's done more than other people this season in the short span of time. I got to give her props for that.
Yeah, for sure. Because out of the ones that came through, I wouldn't even say a mirror. I wouldn't really. I don't know. I wasn't gonna say that I thought she would go far, but then again, I didn't think she would go far. But I didn't think she'd be the first one out. If anything, I thought it would be Alyssa. So for her to get as far as she has so far is crazy. Granted, she's not the brightest crayon in the box, but kudos to her, I guess.
Yeah. Like, literally, when she was the last person standing for the green team, I was like, look at little Gwen go. Like, she was on that little platform, but still sitting. I'm like, props to her, because she stood up there for as long as she could against, it was just her, Tiffany, and then the blue team.
And then, like, the whole blue team, right. Literally.
So, after that, we go into a daily challenge, but it's called Spell Longers. And it's played in 4 different heats where the players will swim to a buoy and submerge themselves underwater to view a word puzzle. And they have to figure out what the theme of the words are to the puzzle and use that code to unlock their lock boxes, which has a flashlight. And the players must navigate through a dark cave with a flashlight to locate the second puzzle and then figure out another theme of that puzzle as well. And once they solve that, they have to go back up and unlock the next lockbox, and the first man element to finish will win. But this is played, like I said, in 4 heats, and these heats were very interesting. There were people helping each other, some people looking out for their own games, and it was just a lot.
For real, I would be the one that would literally only be looking out for my own game. And I was sitting there thinking too, I'm like, how would I even doing this? Because I can swim. But it's like, that's a long swim. And then you got to remember what you just saw. And me, I'm thinking about me, I would have to like literally be focused the whole time, thinking and repeating everything that I just saw in my head. Because I would forget by the time I get to shore. So what made me, I don't know if you're going to get to it, but when Wes, I don't like Wes, but when when Tori and Sebastian thought they was going to be able to cake off of what he just got, and he was like, nah, I ain't telling y'all shit. And just kept on going. I was weak the whole time. I was like, that would have been me. Because I'm not helping y'all.
Yeah. So first we get into the first heat with Fessy, Alyssa, Cassidy, and Tyler. And Cassidy was really doing the work. She was getting to the buoy first, figuring out the puzzle. Didn't tell them what the word was. Let them finish it themselves. But all of them did not know exactly what that first puzzle was because they couldn't really get a good view of it. Tyler's like, fuck this. I'm just about to go back to the block box and just try to guess it. Alyssa paddled back with him.
She was, I see him going, so I guess I'm just going to go. But you don't know why he's going. He's trying to think about it. You need to look down there because you know good and darn well you don't know what you're going to think when you get up there.
Yeah. And then Fessy was just like, I'm going to see. Then he's like, fuck, I'm going to go too. Like, he couldn't get any grip at all.
Right.
So, but Cassidy figured out it was cats, and then she just left, went to do the next puzzle. Alyssa finally just figured it out eventually, made sure to get that, and then Tyler and Cassidy figured it out eventually, but Cassidy was really the MVP, I guess, of Heat 1.
Yeah, that's that survivor training. That's all they do, that type of stuff, like swimming out to buoys, coming back, trying to put puzzles together. That's literally Survivor. That's Survivor 101.
Yeah. And so so after Cassie did figure it out, Betsy ended up figuring it out as well. So they were the next. Oh no, Cassie didn't figure it out. Cassie didn't figure it out. My bad. I'm so sorry. Cassie was the first to get there, but she couldn't figure it out. But Alyssa was the woman from that heat to actually figure it out. She figured out that second puzzle.
Damn, yes. I forgot that.
Yeah. Because even though like Cassie had that lead, she didn't figure out that second puzzle. Alyssa finally figured that one out after Fessy.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Because
that's crazy. Her of all people figuring it out.
Yeah, because I realized, I remember in the back of my head, Fessy figured out what that puzzle was. I think he told Alyssa what that code was. He was like, I'm gonna help my favorite people.
Oh, yeah.
So
okay.
That's how that happens. Yeah. But Cassie had a good lead on everybody, but she just did not figure that one out. And she was pressed that Fessy did help her. You're not his people.
I was about to say, you were up against 3 brothers. You know, this survivor.
Yeah. And then in Heat 2, Bananas, Michaela, and Chanel and Monty went. And immediately, Monty was struggling with that little dive to even get into the buoy to see down to the puzzle. Bananas was like, I'm like certified training with like diving and stuff. I'm good with this. He saw the word pause and knew that it had to do with kitten or cats. And he headed to his box, unlocked it, and went straight to the cave. Meanwhile, when he left, he was like, oh, I'll give y'all a hint. It's pause. All of them thought that it would have been like play pause. But it wasn't.
Right. I'm like, maybe it was too cold out there. I don't know what was going on.
He was like, oh, play. It's not play. That's not the word. It was like, oh. And when he figured it out and like undid the lock and he passed Bananas, he was like, you bastard. I'm like, hey.
Right.
You didn't think clearly, obviously.
For real. Sure.
But all 3 of them managed to get to the second puzzle and they figured out that word was dance. And Chanel figured it out, went back up to the lock and undid her box and got that for Heat 2.
Mm-hmm. Chanel's tough. I like Chanel. I was thinking coming into the season, I don't know. Well, I don't know why, but watching the spoiler pages, from what I was gathering, I was thinking Chanel was going to come to here like kissing these vets' ass. Which I don't know why I thought that, because I already watched how she played Survivor, and she played Survivor very like risk take, like she was doing what she wanted to do. But for some reason, I came into this season thinking that she's gonna be kissing their ass. But I love that she is like she on the same wavelength as Desi and Michaela are. Like we trying to get to the end, and we trying to get these people out of here. So yeah, she performing well too.
Yeah, because I'm not a Survivor girl, so I never watched the show, but I knew of Chanel, and I was like, and I saw the spoiler pages too, and I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna work out. But then after last week, I thought when she posted like, yeah, and y'all thought I was working with them, yeah, y'all thought wrong.
I was one of them ones. I thought she was.
But then we go to Heat 3, and it's Tori, Sebastian, Wes, and Michelle. And I guess Wes told them, like, hey, we're going to work together in this, and we're going to figure these puzzles out and help each other. Sebastian was like, yeah, I'm down with that. Immediately, Wes saw that the puzzle was Cheshire, and he saw Panther. And he's like, oh, this is cats. I got this. Like we said, he didn't say a word to that group, went about his business, and unlocked that box. Went to the second one, figured it out, and he was done.
That would have been me, because fuck y'all. Like, I'm not trying to help y'all. Look.
But you were like the main one that had this plan, and you're gonna renege on it. I'm like, okay, well, but Sebastian was just so
stupid, looking like a fool. Like, and that's the thing with him that's pissed me off the most this season, because like he's probably the one rookie coming in that literally has not tried to stand on his own. Like he's always tried to like leech onto Tori and then stay with the vets when he should literally be trying to get these people out. These people have played. If I'm in the game And I've seen people that's played this game at least 2 or 3 times. You got that experience on me. I'm not trying to have you here, especially when you're West and Banana. You've won combined probably 10 challenges all together. And then Tori, like, he got this crush on her, but should have been gone too. Because knowing that she got production working behind the scenes for her, you gotta go.
Yeah, like it's very weird, this infatuation he had with her. Because even when they were at that second puzzle, she saw at the first puzzle, she saw Broadway, saw his cats. She didn't say a word to him either, but that the word was cats. And she went to go to her box, got the flashlight. She was like, fuck us, dipped out. This is the woman you like? And she's playing in your face.
She don't want him. She don't want him. It's clear as day she don't. She just bored. And he's there.
Yeah. And so her and Wes were the first to get that puzzle done, and that was Heat 3. Heat 4, they were working at the collective. This was Corey, Desi, Josh, and Chris. And Corey and Desi managed to figure out that first puzzle was cats, and they told the rest of the guys. Then Corey was the one that actually figured out that second puzzle, which just had to be a dance. And they lobbed it to Josh for whatever reason. But Desi went and finished the heat for them as well. But I'm like, why would you just lob it to Josh? Of all people.
That's a very good question. That's a very good question.
I'm like, are y'all feeling bad for him or what? I don't know. But that was just fishy. Or I don't know.
Gotta be. I don't. You already know how I feel about him.
Yeah. And so TJ said that one player smoked the whole group out by 6 minutes. And that was Tori. She was about her business from point A to point B. I gotta give her a props for that because she was on a mission.
I do too. I hate giving it to her, but yeah, she was out.
Yeah. And then for the guys, it was very neck and neck. They were separated by like 2.5 minutes or so. It was Josh and Bananas. Josh's time was 22 minutes and 29 seconds. And Bananas' time was 20 minutes and 35 seconds. So that meant that both Bananas and Tori are the winners of this daily challenge. And I already know now they're about to be gun ho to really like get out the rest of the weather.
Literally. That was written on the wall. And even if Josh would have won, I still feel like the plan would have still been the same. Because Josh in his mind is no longer a big brother. Like, don't forget where you came from. Because you're still big brother at the end of the day. Because when it comes down to say it's the rest of the MTV vets, I don't even call them vets, because a lot of them ain't really vets, if you ask me. But the MTV people, if it comes down to all of them, you the first one getting cut. Trust and believe that. Like, you the first one. Because you're still big brother in their eyes. Like, you didn't premiere on an MTV show like Corey and Tori and Bananas and West did. You came from CBS. So.
Yeah, even if it's like tiers of like who is on that totem pole with the vets, I definitely think it is Josh because he's the layup of that group. And then Bessie and Corey are interchangeable because Corey don't be messing with those other three like that, for real, like that. And then it's just Tori, Bananas, and Wes. And that's how it is.
And Fessy, I usually hate Fessy, but this is probably the first season that I've actually enjoyed watching him play the game because he's playing the game smart. Like he's doing what Josh should essentially be doing. He knows that he's still big brother at the end of the day. It's like, why not use that to my advantage as well? Because these MTV people still gonna try and use me as a number, but they gonna also use me as a number too. So why not play the middle and get to the end? Like Fessy is playing a smart game this season.
Yeah, and he's been clapping back at Bananas. Granted, that one fight we didn't see from last week. I don't know why they didn't show it. That would have been nice to see him really go at Bananas because, like, we saw it in the trailer and they did not have it in the episode. And I'm like, we wanted to see that. Like, and I don't like Fessy that much. I think he's a arrogant person, but he's appealing to me this season. I'm like, he's really standing up and really popping off. I'm like, I like to see that when it's beneficial for his game in a logical way. And he's playing a little bit logical thus far.
He's playing very logical this season, which is so shocking to me. But yeah, he is. Yeah. He's not making a lot of dumb moves. Maybe it's because he ain't hooking up with nobody this season. He actually focusing on the game. So
yeah,
I don't know. He kind of in his Corey mode. Because Corey, ever since he done had his family, he's tunnel vision on the game, and his game has improved too.
Yeah. And so now Bananas and Tori will nominate the man and woman for elimination. And let's notice that the challenge vets exceed in the individual challenges, and like this is their thing. Tori wanted to set the tone with the second half, so she was excited that she got the win. And Bananas and Tori decide to pull Chanel, Desi, and Michaela off to the side for a chat. And Tori's like, I'd rather either attack the girls now because they're strong women, or just keep them in my back pocket and work with them down the road.
Because she knows it's gonna be harder to get them out. Like the only way you're gonna really eliminate them three is by putting two of the three against each other. Because nobody else is beating those three. Like Alyssa's not beating them. Cassidy's not beating them. Tori, you get your ass in there. You're not beating them. So
Michelle's not beating them either.
I forgot Michelle. I forgot she was even here. This is episode was probably her most laid back episode. Because Michelle she's been sliding around, snaking around. I can't be mad at it though, because she's playing the game that's literally for her to get to the end. But we'll see how far that takes her.
Yeah. And so basically this conversation was like, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. She was like, I'd rather just not place votes on y'all right now because that's not gonna be good for me at this moment. And she's like, it's too early to try to target y'all right now too, because it may bat me back in the ass. So let's not. And that's very smart of her, because she doesn't want to see them. She doesn't want to see them in the final, to be honest. But making this little truce of sorts to help her right now. And was like, let's see how that goes. If they keep continuing to win, they may renege on it and put you in, and that would be fun to see.
I need it, and I know they will. I know if they get a chance to, they will. But in her mind, I'm thinking she's probably thinking like, I got power this week. I'm trying to set myself up for next week, and hopefully I can throw them a bone and they repay me the next week. But knowing Michaela, Desi, and Chanel, any chance they get to swing at her, I'm pretty sure they're going to take it. But we'll see.
Yeah. And so we have the nominations of Tori and Bananas wanted to split the vote between Survivor and Big Brother. Tori's like, I don't want to mess it up because we already got this thing going with those three, and she doesn't want to piss them off with putting a Survivor person in. So they decided, let's put the showmans in instead. And Monty's name did get brought up, but they're like, let's not. We'll just keep putting in Tyler's name because they keep saying his name over and over. So, yeah.
Keep the dead horse.
Yeah, they love doing that. Once they pick somebody, they just keep picking on them. And I'm like, and Tyler, he's okay in my book. Granted, I thought him an All-Stars, but he's been showing up on this show, and I was very surprised at how he performed. So
he performs well.
Y'all need to get the y'all okay, I guess, but we'll see how he bites back, y'all, because y'all are targeting the last 3 people on Big Brother, essentially. So y'all getting what y'all want by putting in Tyler, and then possibly having the rest of the house vote for Monty. Yeah. And Tyler's like, let's make it a guy's day because he was trying to save Alyssa. And I'm like, wow.
Just like she was like last week, she killed me when she was like, when she was voting for Tiffany to make it a girl's day, when she wasn't even safe. She's like, I just want to protect Tyler. But you still got a chance, because if it's a girl's day and somebody votes your name in, as we know with that hopper, any name can get picked and it could be yours and you could go home, but you so hell bent on trying to save Tyler. I was like, Tyler doing the same thing, but Tyler at least has a leg to stand on. Tyler can perform. Alyssa, we don't know for a fact that she can perform, and essentially, all the girls that are left in the game, she's the weakest.
Yeah, that's why they called her a layup, because she ain't gonna do much.
Yep.
So Tyler's very excited. He's like, anybody but Monty. That's best case scenario for him. I wanted it to be Sebastian so bad.
Me too. Oh my gosh.
But that didn't happen. Then, right when people went to the club, Sebastian was like, "Oh, me and Tori are gonna stay back and like have a little date here at the house." And I'm like, "Okay."
The girl don't even want you. She's bored. She's probably horny too.
I was like, "Yeah, sure. We'll get this little moment, and we'll just move on." And they were at the club. Alyssa and Wes had a chat. She was telling him about what's going on, and Wes told her that people wanted Monty in, but for her and Tyler's game, she was like, "I'm just gonna try and push a Survivor guy in, and Sebastian was the target because he's attached to Tori. She can't really go after Tori like that, but she can do next best thing in her little boy toy, like she said, and Sebastian." And Tyler has the best case scenario in that moment to really like come back if it's against Sebastian.
Sebastian, yeah, for sure.
And then Michaela and Chanel had another chat with Bananas later on, and they're like, we'd rather keep Alyssa because they call her a layup, and they're pushing for the guys' day. And then Alyssa's playing with emotion to push for Sebastian. Tyler and Monty were on board, and Alyssa, she really clocked Sebastian's game so far this end of the season because she said he hadn't done nothing, and that is fact.
His whole existence on this season is attached to his obsession with Tori. That's it. Like, he's done nothing. Like, out of most, I'd say every rookie for essentially has had an impact on this season. Like, each person that's gone home has had a presence for some reason on their own. But
yeah,
apart from Dusty, who, like Sebastian, is in love with Bananas. So, but everybody else had at least their own like story or storyline. Sebastian is a loser. I hope they bring him back. Never bring him back.
He reminds me. This is so mean. I'm so sorry, but his face reminds me of yeah.
Somebody on Twitter said his face is like what they said. They said his face. Somebody said something that had me weak, saying something like his face was facially challenged or something. I forget what it was, but it had me rolling.
No, because he looks like a character from Shark Tale that I can't get out of my head.
I think that might have been what I was looking at. Darn, I wish I could find that tweet.
I just couldn't place it, but I was like, I have no qualms against that man, but I just couldn't get out of my head.
He is odd looking. He looks very odd.
But Chris tried to also make a push for Monty with Josh to keep the mission a guy's day, and also to keep the spread of votes between Sebastian and Monty because they knew that Sebastian was going to be an option. So whichever one works, because at the end of the day, Sebastian was also at the bottom of the Survivor group anyways. Yep. So he can just go as well.
Because he don't even be in there. He don't even be in there gaming with them. Like, this is probably the first episode I've seen him at least talk a smidge of game with somebody from Survivor. Every other time, he ain't in there when they be strategizing and stuff.
And so we go to the arena, and Bananas and Tori decided to twin. And I'm like, y'all look like stepbrothers.
For real.
She's like, well, Bananas like, oh, like, everybody else is matching. Me and Tori are going to match. And I'm like, where did you get that sweater from?
Yeah, so
sweater and that jacket. Because I'm like, this is weird. But it's supposed to be all weird anyway, so it makes sense.
Literally.
So their votes of Tyler and Alyssa come out, and we get into the Hopper votes, where first it's Sebastian, who had 6 votes. Cassidy had won, and we know that Wes voted for her because now he's
Just
keeping
to
up
be
this.
petty.
Yeah.
Just to piss her off. He got her nervous, per usual.
And Desi was like, "Oh, you look a little red right now, Wes."
Yeah.
Like, you don't say.
He knew what he was doing. He's a troll.
And then Monty got 7 votes. And Hopper did his thing and ended up being that Monty was the person to go in against Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
We knew this would happen.
Mm-hmm.
If you get a 1 vote, you go in, you have a chance of going in anyways. And it just so happened that because Monty had
7.
the most votes, he's going in.
Mm-hmm. Glorious
So, yeah. And I'm like, he hasn't bothered me as much this season, but
because he's boring. He
just,
don't do nothing. He just sit in the back.
Yeah.
He's literally that's how you know, and that's how he was on. Well,
No,
he
he
was still
was
boring
like,
on Big Brother, but he was just more. He was more loud with his misogyny and his love for putting down a black woman. But
yeah.
here he's back in the bag, fighting in the bag.
He's furniture. He's from the school of Casey, so
Yeah,
we'll take it like that.
literally. For real.
And so the guy they're playing a game called Too Cool for Spool. I hate when they do these puns sometimes.
I would have quit. I would have quit. The fact that they went for what 3.5 hours on the say.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have made that.
I would have been frustrated. Like,
so
okay, you got it.
I would have been so frustrated.
You got it.
After if I got the pyramid up to here and it dropped, I'd been done. I was like, no.
Yeah. So the guys are harnessed to a giant spool at the center of the arena, and it spins if they move toward or away from it, and they must collect balls and basically assemble a pyramid on top of the spool. The first person to assemble their pyramid will win. And off the bat, Tyler's moving fast, and he was hitting the spool every time. I'm like, sir, calm down.
Yeah, for real.
That's not the name of this game. I know you trying to get me fast, but you can't be fast with this because if you be too fast and you move a little bit off,
everything on fall.
Yeah. And I'm like, no. But both of them eventually get their balls on the spools, getting the base right for their pyramids. Eventually they end up being slow and steady with it, but balls were still steadily dropping. And at this point, it takes 2 hours for them to try and get through it. Still nothing because they keep making a little bit of progress, and then the balls kept falling. And it was just slow. And then at one point, when it's right after that 2-hour mark, Monty was close to the buzzer. He was inching real close, but the pyramid fell. And then when it got to almost 3 hours, this ended at 3 hours, I want to say, because that timer looked like it was mad close to 3 hours. Tyler finally got to the buzzer and signed it off. And English.
I don't know how they did it. Thank God. And that's the thing too. Tyler, I was like, because Big Brother 20, I hated Tyler. Big Brother 22, I came in with a clean slate. Then he kind of irritated me. Then I was like, coming into this season, because that's the thing with Tyler. He gives you a chance to not be completely irritated with him for so long because he don't do too many TV shows. Like Tori and Josh, they give me every reason to hate them because they never stay away. It's like, this is your life. And Tyler, I'm at the point now where I'm like, okay, I ain't rooting for him, but I'm not mad at him winning, especially against that raccoon. So send his ass home.
I don't know.
I remember when the spoiler came out, and I saw that Tyler beat Monty. I'm like, your big ass got beat by this little skinny surfer dude. But it's crazy to see what it actually was. But yeah, I'd have quit. No way.
Yeah, because at first, my first thought is, I'm like, I don't know if it was Taylor's karma or not. because at this point I feel like it's expired, but
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
a
know.
loser, so you
Either
gotta
way,
go like
like it was,
that.
yeah. Either way, it's not gonna be good. But then I realized it's Tyler. I feel like I've kind of compared Tyler a little bit to Tyson from last season
Yeah,
of that, because like they're kind of similar, but like Tyson got a little bit more like instincts on him. But I'm like, I'm not gonna count out Tyler because
yeah,
he's lanky, but he got some muscle on him a little bit. So I'm like, I'm
yeah,
not gonna count him out. And
for
he's
sure.
smart. Like he made it
Yeah.
to the end of like his season for a reason. I'm not gonna count him out.
Yeah.
And it's really funny too because Monty was like, "Oh, I modeled my big brother game after Tyler," and they both ended up in second place.
Literally. Monty was dumb though. Because he knew it. At the end of the day, when it came to his season, Taylor was gonna out talk him in that final. Like
Yeah,
when it mattered to sell herself, why would you take a pageant girl to the end? Like you literally set yourself up to lose.
yeah.
But I was happy though, because I didn't want him winning that money.
Same. That would have made a damper on that season. But
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna get into the tweets from this episode where I just scour and look as I'm watching
What you
episodes,
got?
and I just see the tweets.
Me
So the
too. I
first
be
one, they be funny. The tweets be funny, and I be cracking up.
That's the best part.
The first tweet is Tyler risking his game to keep Alyssa safe. Bitch, she's really so iconic because Kyle threw away his game for her on BB True. She's the ultimate politicker.
That is true. That is very, very true.
I'm
Because
like,
that boy
Alyssa
he
can.
literally he could have gotten so much further if he would have stuck with the alliance, but no. And then he wanted to pull out the people of color. So, but she got something going on. Some type of
She's
magic downstairs.
a magic that can last 10 seconds.
Tyler might be giving her a little bit longer than that, but thank God she got a little bit of sense to no longer still be entertaining Kyle.
Yeah. The next tweet is the explanation is the battle of the wallpapers.
Literally though, because Tyler, as good as he performs, he's boring as hell. He is boring, and him and Alyssa, that's probably one of the most boringest showmances I've ever seen in my life. Them and Tori and Sebastian.
Yeah. This next tweet actually comes from Michelle, and she's like, "Should I be offended that no one seems to categorize me as a strong girl?" No, you should not be offended because you are all the way there. You are Mixie. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I'll say she in the mid. I think she's strong, especially not with these girls that are in here. But she's smart. That's the one thing she's more smart than she is physically strong.
Yeah, it's just her game for me is just a little bit off, like with politics. Like she's all over the place, and like I count that as being a strong girl. Like you can not only just perform well in these challenges, but if your gameplay and the social stuff is all the way there and straight and like narrow, I'm fine with that. But this one is batshit crazy.
She's messy. She's a messy player and a messy person.
Yeah. So I'm like, I can't. So I can't call you a strong girl in this game because you all over the place. Like she literally like made that first shot against I think Survivor or Big Brother when they were working together initially in the season, and I'm like, girl, you're not smart. It's too early for that.
Literally.
And then the last tweet: do not order Jordan Wisely. I never know how to say his last name. Do not order Jordan from Wish. It's
from
literally from Wish. That app where you buy like random items and you think it's like one thing, but you think it's like the product that you see online, and then when you get it, it's not good.
Okay, finish the tweet so I can laugh.
And because the photo that attaches it is
Sebastian.
Yes.
I knew that was what was coming. Literally, because it applies because Tori the one hooking up with him.
Yeah, I'm like, she has a bad track record of men on the show. Comes on the show with popcorn muscles. Leaves him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leaves him for Jordan.
And who she had? Jordan for Fessy.
And then Emmanuel. And Kels a little bit. So they had.
I forgot about that. Where the fuck? Why didn't they bring him back? He was good.
He was mad. I know he was mad that Priscilla backed up because they were going to do Ride or Dies together, but he backed out. But Priscilla backed out, and he was mad at her.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting.
So after Kels and Emmanuel, now it's this elf. So yeah.
Yeah, this thing.
But yeah, those are all the tweets from this week. And this episode was like it felt like a filler, but like it helped move a little bit more goalposts of like how the season's gonna be.
Yeah.
Because this was the first challenge of nation that is fully individual, and now we can see like how people move now going forward. I'm like, now that Monty is gone, the next dominoes fall for Big Brother are Ty and Alyssa.
Yeah.
And Survivor is really about the same role.
For real, because they got the strongest girls.
Yeah. Once they get rid of the dead weight. Yeah, because once they get rid of the dead weight of like Sebastian, they'll be fine the rest of the way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be Survivor outruling the rest of them because Big Brother wise, Alyssa gonna be gone, Tyler gonna be gone. Yeah. Because you got Desi, Chanel, Michaela, Michelle probably gonna slither around for a little bit. Cassidy probably gonna go soon too. But Chris, I don't see him going no time soon. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting to see how this plays out.
And then we still have some challenge bets. I feel like Josh's gonna be off soon. I feel like his time will come.
He ain't making the final, especially if he's getting elimination.
Yeah.
He's not winning elimination.
Like his game is literally about to be done very soon, and I'll be there to laugh at that.
Me too. I'm gonna be so happy.
I'm like, I don't plan people's downfalls, but I just know when the time comes, I will be there laughing.
Elated. Me too.
Yeah.
It'll be the best episode of the season. Because if he cries, I'm gonna scream laughing because you know he's gonna cry. Especially
he's gonna throw a tantrum
to the final. He's gonna get close to the final, and I'm gonna be laughing my ass off.
Yeah. He's gonna be crying, throwing the tantrum, and that's it. I just know it. But yeah, that is the wrap up of this episode.
Yeah.
Thanks, Grant, for coming on and joining me for this.
Of course. Thank you as always for having me.
No problem. I'll have you back obviously again when Alicia is back on the show. But yeah. If you guys want to follow Grant, let us know your socials.
You ask me this every time and I always go blank. Twitter is looking for G, spelled LOOKIN, 4 G2Es. Instagram is just GT 2Es 2T 2Es. And then I'm on YouTube, Grant LaShawn. And yeah, that's it. I think.
Yeah. I'm like, that's what I remember from all yours too. You guys can also make sure to follow and subscribe to the Duel Alliance podcast on YouTube. Also follow us on Twitter at Duel Alliance Pod. Follow myself at Megan Hines and follow Alicia at @8_S5. And me and Alicia will see y'all back next week, and we'll see Grant back again before the season's over. So bye guys.
Bye.